all day and play all night. Play with friends. Play the hits. Play nonstop. And always play to win. Atlantic City is your playground. So let us entertain you. Visit AtlanticCityNJ.com to press play and win big.
Sports is what we do.
Segura from a knee throws him out.
97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City, a Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey.
The following program is paid for, and the opinions expressed are not those of Town Square Media or station advertisers.
Welcome to the locker room.
Vince Papali, welcome to the locker room.
I can smell it already, Billy. What's happening, buddy?
Ron Hayes, welcome to the locker room with Billy Schwein.
Yeah, hey, Billy, how you doing out there?
Rich Gannon, welcome to the locker room, Rich.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be with you.
Great Bob McElwee, NFL referee.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Craig Berube. Craig, welcome to the locker room.
All right, thanks, Billy.
We have the real Pat Croce in the locker room.
Let me off the bench, Coach.
And now here's your host, Billy Schwein.
Sunday morning in the locker room with Billy Schwein and Pete Thompson on a glorious Sunday morning talking sports. PT, what's up, my man?
Not much, Billy. How are you? Happy Sunday to you.
Yeah, man.
It is nice outside. Starting to get a little steamy.
It's getting a little hot, man.
Last weekend was that perfect weekend, you know. The temperature's ramping up a little bit, but the big news, Billy.
Bill, Pete,
I texted you because I wasn't sure if you were still awake or not last night.
I mean, just, it always seems, Pete, that this happens to somewhere. It always, Embiid, Flyers had 8-9 injuries this year. You know what I mean? Now the Phillies get bit by it.
Bryce Harper, fractured left thumb, hit by a pitch last night. He's going to undergo additional tests in the upcoming days, but it was a 97-mile-an-hour Blake Snell fastball to his hand, and he left the game immediately. And
so I'm watching the game with my brother-in-law, Colonel Johnny Brooks.
Okay.
Retired Colonel Johnny Brooks, my sister, and we had just put Doopy Doo down to bed.
All right.
Come out, boom. Everybody just got quiet, and we went like, did we really just see that?
Yeah, you did.
And you saw him wincing in pain. You saw Alfaro wave. Like I thought he got hit in the head.
Right. Well, remember last year he actually got hit in the face, and he came back a couple of games after that. So he said afterwards, I'd rather get hit in the face than the thumb, I suppose, or in the hand. I mean, look, the guy was batting .320. He had 21 doubles, 15 home runs. I mean, 7th in baseball in extra base hits, 8th in total bases. There's no other way to put it.
4th in batting average.
He's basically irreplaceable, right? I mean, so they're going to have to find a way to wake Castellanos up.
They're saying 4 to 6 weeks, 4 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, 4 to 8 weeks possibly, and they're just not sure yet. I mean,
we said on the show yesterday, PT, that Bryce Harper is the catalyst for this team. And when he's out of the lineup, remember he was dealing with that blister, the team looked lifeless. They dropped 2 in Texas, and the Phillies just didn't have the same swagger that they have when Bryce Harper's in the lineup. So I ask you, Pete, what's this mean for our season?
Well, initially the knee-jerk reaction would be like, well, that's it. Season's over. We're done. We're toast, But remember, Billy, that the Braves won it all last year without their best player, Ronald Acuna Jr.
That's
right. So, I mean, there's precedent that the team could win without their best player.
The Eagles won the Super Bowl with the dog mentality, right? The underdog mentality. How many players did they go into the playoffs? I mean, they lost their starting quarterback.
Right, and the backup quarterback went on to be the stuff of legend. Right now, the x-rays have confirmed a fractured thumb. It's too soon to know if he'll need surgery or even really, we're saying 4 to 8, or how long exactly he'll be sidelined.
You ever try to do something without your thumb?
There's a reason that God gave us the opposable thumb, right? If you only had the fingers, there's a reason you need the thumb. Harper says he's never broken a bone before, by the way.
Is that right?
Yeah, and the Phillies, 38 and 35, they're in this. It's
9 games behind the Mets.
Well,
who, by the way, are getting Scherzer back and DeGrom to follow.
That's right, and they keep winning. The Braves keep winning. I mean, the Phillies it's 8 for 6. Okay, there's an 8-team mix for 6 playoff spots. That's where they're at right now, and you certainly don't want to be losing your best player and
now.
potential MVP.
So this is the time, like in football, you say next man up, or hockey, next guy up, right?
Mm-hmm.
The next guy up has to be Nick Castellanos. He's the guy that needs to now start asserting himself into this lineup as the guy.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got the skill, the ability, and the talent.
I would agree with that. And Nick Castellanos hasn't shown us what he was signed for. Now, JT Realmuto hit a home run last night, and he could step up a little bit too.
Alec Boehm is starting to come out of it a little bit. He went 2 for 4 last night.
Oh, I like Alec Boehm. I like Alec Boehm now that, remember how his season started where he was booting the ball all over the place at third base, right? I think they found the right place for Alec Boehm. I think he's more comfortable in the field. I think that Alec Boehm is certainly more comfortable at the plate. But, I mean, that this Phillies team is 15-6 since replacing Joe Girardi with Rob Thompson.
And they're also 17 and 5 in the month of June.
17-6.
17-6 in the month of June.
Right.
By the way, Carlin predicted that the Phillies would go 17-10 for the month. So he's right now looking
the only
good.
problem is that the Braves are 18-4.
I know. That's the problem.
I mean, how are you supposed to gain any ground when another team in the division is winning just as much, if not more, than you?
Hey, by the way, we're streaming live on my YouTube channel, The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, and also my Facebook page, Billy Schweim. So if you want to check out how handsome Pete Thompson is, you do that. My doopy-doo, Eliza Grace is watching the show.
Oh, that's
live,
great.
So wave to her.
Good morning, Eliza
Good morning,
Grace.
G.
Yeah.
But Pete, I said yesterday on the show, on the program, that the Phillies are starting to show a little resiliency. I mean, they lost 2 in Texas, yes, but then they go out to San Diego and
bad in Texas without Bryce Harper.
Yeah, but then they go and they beat Musgrove 6-2. Schwarber goes yard. I mean, they showed what this lineup can do against the best pitcher in the league.
Yeah, Musgrave was like a 1.59 ERA. I mean, the guy was pitching lights out, and they got the job done. That was on Thursday night into Friday, right? And then, of course, Friday night, I did save one for you here. Let me see what this great stat that I have for you is. One of these that I was like, oh, that's a Billy Schweim stat. According to the Elias Sports Bureau, Austin Nola is the first major leaguer to record a game-winning hit off his brother since Phil Niekro did it against Joe Niekro in 1979.
You're going
Nola,
back,
the first player in the modern era since 1900 to get a game-winning hit off his brother that accounted for the game's only RBI. Since I know you and Bobby, are brothers, and can you imagine getting the game-winning hit off of Bobby?
I would love it, and I'd rub his nose in it. Now, Pete, we got a great show lined up today.
Yeah, I'm all fired up.
Of course, we have our annual or weekly segment, On the Mound with Tommy Greene, brought to you by
Aaron Bada's Golf and Sports Performance Club. Call 609-788-4661 or visit gsfitness.com for your free assessment.
Because we'll get Tommy's thoughts on the Phillies week that was, and looked ahead to Sunday's game against the Padres. By the way, my daughter says, Dad, I said the Phillies are playing the San Diego Padres. You know what she said to me, Pete?
What's that?
The Phillies are playing the San Diego Dads.
Yeah, Padre is dad. That's a smart girl. She understands. Hey, or you got her watching a lot of MASH episodes. Hello,
well,
Padre.
they're really fathers,
right.
the religious component.
Sure,
right.
But
Padre,
Padre,
but she
father.
said dads because it's Spanish. Well, anyway, but Tommy Greene, we'll get his reaction to this to the Phillies. I mean, as a professional athlete, it's a business. They know what their job is. So Bryce Harper goes down, someone's going to have to step up.
Very much so, and don't waste any time.
And then in hour 2, we're going to be talking with a longtime Philadelphia Flyers public address announcer, Lou Nolan, because Lou wrote a book, If These Walls Could Talk. It's a great read, Pete.
It's an outstanding read. I mean, the guy's been around the organization, if you will, forever. Okay, they honored him last year for all his longtime service. He's been around since 72, 73 season. You know, I mean, what hasn't he seen? And he and Sam Carchidi put a book out together, If These Walls Could Talk. I just saw Lou at the Flyers alumni outing at DuPont Country Club last Monday, and I said to you, hey, let's get him on the show. We'll tell some stories, and maybe we'll give away a couple books.
I've told this story before. Every time when I go down to the Flyers to cover the game and go to the, get a press pass and go interview players, the first person I see in the hallway is Lou Nolan.
Yeah.
And he comes up with the biggest smile. He's authentic. He's real. He's class. And he makes you feel welcome.
That's one of the stories. Stay classy, fans. Stop throwing things on the ice.
So so we're going to take some text messages at 609-403-0973. What are we going to ask, Pete?
Well, if you have a question for Lou Nolan, text us at 609-403-0973. 609-403-0973. We will select questions, and if your question is read on the air, you will receive a copy of the book. It can't just be like, how do you spell Lou?
Right.
We want some quality questions here.
When were you born?
Yeah.
609-403-0973 is the text board. If you got a question for Lou and we read it on the air, we'll send you a copy of the book, If These Walls Could Talk. It's a Sunday morning in the locker room with Pete Thompson. You feeling good today, Pete?
Yes, sir.
Nice
Ready to rock and roll. Absolutely.
Now, when we come back on the other side, I listened to your Friday happy hour.
You probably shouldn't do that.
And I got some. I made a couple observations.
You wrote notes down.
I wrote notes
about my segment.
I didn't actually write them down. I put them in my head.
Oh boy.
So when we get back, we'll continue with more sports talk. On the other side, the first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that will help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing for the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, please call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. My Winter Watchdog. Have you heard of New Jersey's premier vacant home management service, My Winter Watchdog? You know those worrisome thoughts that creep into your mind every time you hear of a storm coming, and the daunting task of driving down to the shore to check on the house, hours of time on the road. If you're away for the winter, you're away in Florida, you go away, you can't keep your eyes on the house. Let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with their 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance and improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and her team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. So don't let the winter worry you. They'll give your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or give them a call. Grab a pen, 267-202-1869. That's 267-202-1869. Or send Debbie an email, Debbie@mywinterwatchdog.com. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more here in the locker room with Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
The best way to wake up is with Keyshawn, Jay, Will, and Max. Weekday mornings at 6 on 97.3.
Those aren't. Hey, can someone check the temp on the kiln?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by conducting interviews on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, PT, we're back here in the locker room. 609-403-0973 is the text board. He sent us a text message, a question for Lou Nolan. By the way, Lou will be with us at 11 a.m. today, and Lou can answer the question.
Yep, looking forward to that. Dan from EHT, he's regular, but he's already texted in and said, you wonder if Harper needs surgery on his elbow. Could he get that and then shut him down until next year? Yeah, the old 2-for-1 there, Dan.
Well,
There's a lot of thought for that.
First thing we said last night, my brother-in-law, Johnny, and I were talking. We said, hey, listen, if he's going to be out for any extended period of time and you start losing, just take care of two problems, kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah, take care of the elbow issue and take care of the thumb issue. I mean, you don't want to see that because, quite frankly, having the DH has been the reason that they've stayed afloat, you know. He also added on, don't forget that the Padres are without their 3 and 4 hitters. And who are the 3 and 4 hitters, Billy?
That's Manny Machado and Tatis. But listen.
What did you call them in the break?
I don't know what I call him.
Macho,
Randy Savage.
Yeah.
Macho Man.
You said, aren't the Padres without Macho? I'm like,
before I start asking you questions, from the observation I made with you on Mike Gill, the Sports Bash with Mike Gill, Happy Hour Friday with the PT.
This is your. This is. The
I
Billy
do want to talk about
segment?
I do want to talk about a Mark Appel story.
Yeah, that's been real nice.
Very inspirational. Here's a guy that was a number 1 draft pick in 1990 or 19.
He was the number 1. I don't know why you're in the 19s.
I don't know.
Number 1 overall pick in 2013, and he's finally a big leaguer at age 30. I mean, this guy, he went to Stanford. He was and he's going to be with the Houston Astros. He went to their low A affiliate. He thought, like, I'm going to rocket through the system here because
he was in that big trade with for Ken Giles.
He was part of that trade, yes. But when he was 21, 9 years ago, he thought, I'm just going to bounce and make my way up through the ladder here, and then I'll be with the Astros, and I'll be in the bigs, and everything will be fine. And, he had elbow injuries. He had shoulder injuries, got traded to the Phillies in 15. In 2018, he actually walked away for a period of time and said, that's it, I'm done. I mean, it's a
comeback. It's a true comeback story.
Really, it's really a nice story.
He has appeared in 28 games at the AAA Lehigh with a 1.61 ERA, 24 strikeouts in 28 innings.
Even
19 appearances, 28 innings.
Right. I don't know where you had that 28.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Right. 19 relief appearances. But 9 years after his journey began, yesterday he got, he finally became a big leaguer. And what's funny about this is even flight issues can't slow him down. He gets to Newark to get on the plane, and his nonstop flight from Newark's canceled. So he has to call the Phillies traveling secretary.
So the anticipation of getting to the back to the bigs is even slowed by the airline.
But he got there. It was Anthony Contreras, who's the AAA manager for the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. And they were on Friday, they lost 10-7 in Norfolk. And Contreras walked into the clubhouse. He said, look, we're going to have a team meeting. Now, after a loss, you think the team meeting is going to be Skip's going to yell at us a little bit, right? This is how he did it. This is Anthony Contreras. If you want to win ball games every day, you've got to be prepared. You got to be ready to go in when your name is called. If you're not prepared, you're not going to win a lot of games here. If you're not prepared, you're never going to get to go to the big leagues. And then he turned right to Appel and said, that's exactly what this guy's been doing. Mark, you're going to the big leagues.
Oh,
and he did it right in front of, like, sometimes they'll call you in the office. You think you're getting released.
Right.
But no, he did it in front of the whole team. And then the clubhouse went crazy, which was awesome. I would have liked somewhere. I hope at some point the video comes
nice article in the Philadelphia Inquirer today by your buddy Scott Lauber. Lauber?
Yeah, Lauber.
I said it right, Lauber.
Yeah, well, the first one sounded like you were getting a root canal.
But it's a good story.
Yeah, very much so. And it's a very inspirational story, and I'm happy for him. And now let's get him in a game.
Now, PT, I got a bone to pick with you.
Okay, here we go. Gloves are off.
You made clear on Friday for the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Yes.
Happy hour Friday with the PT.
That is correct.
The PT lives down here at the Jersey Shore, and you haven't been to the beach since 2011? Are you out of your mind?
Well, no, I got no reason to. I'm on the mainland, brother.
You're not a beach guy?
No, I was
Mike Gill
for a
used
while.
I used to get into it all the time with him. He was a pool guy. Now he likes the beach, and that's because of Heidi, I think.
Yeah, and she likes it too. Yeah, they got
you
their
haven't
spot.
been on the beach?
No.
How do you not go on the beach? You live down at the Jersey Shore.
I live in Galloway. It's not
You
like
live
I'm
10
in a beach
minutes
town.
from the beach.
It's not even 10 minutes from the beach. You
Yeah,
know, it's farther than that.
You live on the coast, bro.
Yeah. No. I mean, look, it's just not a thing for me. The beach is not a thing for me. The whole hassle of trying to where you're going to park or whatnot.
You don't like the sand?
No, I don't mind any of
You
that.
don't like sharks?
No. I don't mind any of that. I'll say this. My girl and I went over to Bally's yesterday.
Okay.
Had a great time. You know, hello to Jim Curry, who was my mixologist, serving them up, right? Appreciated that. We had a couple pops. And we were over there, and there was people like going through the park. I'd never seen Bally's as busy as ever.
Yeah.
They've opened up the yard now. They got this 360 rotating bar right in the
is that
lobby.
right?
I mean, it's real respectable. Like, and as Bally's like card holders or whatever, we were in some drawing to win like $250,000 of free slot play.
Okay.
My girl likes to play Wheel of Fortune.
Okay,
right?
I do too.
So she went over there and she's throwing some money in the Wheel of Fortune slot. What's funny is she got up to like 360, but she never cashed out and then went all the way back down to zero.
All right. Also, since we're talking about Atlantic City, once again, I want to thank the good people down at the Tropicana,
Very much so.
including our good friend Jim Ziris,
Yeah.
for putting up cheap.
Did you see where he was, by the way?
No.
I think Jim was over in Greece.
What?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw a picture of the Acropolis or something
Oh,
like
no
that.
way, really?
I mean,
Well,
I know he was out of the country. I'm not 100% sure.
I
where.
do want to thank you. I spoke with by the way, Chief got your.
Oh, good.
So tell that
This
story.
is happening?
Chief sent the.
When
studio
Craig
here.
Berube was here, a couple weeks
studio.
ago, 2 weeks ago,
Yeah,
right?
June 11th.
When he was here and he was so gracious to sit in with us for 2 hours.
And his lovely wife,
You know,
Dominique.
yep, she came in as well. So, one of the first commercial breaks or whatever, he gets up and he kind of gives me the universal signal for like, hey, man, where's the John, right? And I said, just follow this hallway down, hug the hallway, and you'll see it on your left-hand side. So when he comes back, he starts talking about
adjacent to the bathroom. There's a big picture of.
they have a lot of motivational posters up here for the
Right.
sales staff. So there's a picture of that Rocky quote,
Right.
and a lot of the kids have used that quote before and whatnot. But he was actually very funny because he's laughing about the fact that, it's always funny that Philadelphians.
He said, why does Philadelphia put so much stock in a fictional athlete?
Here's the quote. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place. And I don't care how tough you are. It'll beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, nobody going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. You got how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's how much you can take.
That's a
Keep moving
horrible
forward.
impersonation of Rocky Balboa.
What do you want from me? I'm not Italian. That's how winning is done. Okay.
Right.
So he came back just laughing about it, right? Like, I
Break
can't
our
believe-
stones. Like,
yeah. So what did I do? As a thank you to him for coming in the studio, I bought a smaller version of that poster, boxed it up, and we sent it to him.
So he gets it.
Right.
And I can't tell you exactly what he said to me, of course.
Right.
But pretty funny. I'll tell you off the air.
All right. Sounds good.
Hysterical.
But he got it.
He got it.
That's awesome.
All right.
Good to know.
PT,
Yeah.
on the other side, we're going to talk with our good buddy, Tommy Greene.
Yeah, Tommy Greene.
On the mound with Tommy Greene, brought to you by
Aaron Bada's Golf and Sports Performance Club. Call 609-788-4661 or visit gsfitness.com for your free assessment.
And we will get Tommy Greene's take on the Bryce Harper injury and what the Phillies need to do moving forward.
Yes, looking forward to it.
All right, want to remind people the first out of the locker was powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that will help you through the entire process. From contract signing to closing for the shortest center city and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you. With 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA, that's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Of course, Surety celebrating 30 years in the business because they are the best. All right, friends, let me tell you about Maserati, the main line, located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations. I invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan and the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy of being called a Maserati. Maserati, the mainline, also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience does not end at the point of a sale, as Maserati, the mainline, offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at RDS Auto Group at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com. All right, when we return, we'll talk with Tommy Greene. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein and Pete Thompson right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
Coming up on the next edition of the Sports Bash with Mike
in less time, making this the sound of savings on top brand appliances. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. Get up to 25% off plus $750 instant savings on select appliances. Valid June 22nd through July 13th. U.S. only. Gas dryer extra. See store for details.
Summer in the Garden State means Jersey Fresh blueberries. Hi, Ag Secretary Doug Fisher here. Local Jersey Fresh blueberries are bigger, better, and full of flavor. They're available right now at your favorite market. Love fresh? Buy local. Jersey Fresh.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the free 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
All right, PT, we're back here in the locker room. Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson. Talking about the beach, Pete. Our first guest that we have every Sunday,
right?
Tommy Greene. His wife Wendy posted a picture of him on the beach.
Yeah,
my man's cut. He belongs on the beach. You don't.
When we played in the Flyers golf outing last Monday, Don Selesky was our pro.
Yeah,
and he was trying to like pump me up. He's like, "Come on, man, you're an athlete." And I looked at Don and I said, "No, I'm not. I talk about athletes. I am definitely not an athlete."
All right. Every Sunday, we get a chance to talk with Tommy Greene. It's our On the Mound with Tommy Greene, brought to you by
Aaron Bada's Golf and Sports Performance Club. Call 609-788-4661 or visit gsfitness.com for your free assessment.
All right, let's go to the Maserati, the main line, Sports Hotline, and welcome in former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies who threw a no-hitter, Tommy Greene. Good morning, Tommy.
Good morning. Good to be with y'all guys again, pal.
I heard you were rocking last night, Tommy.
Oh, man, we've had a blast. We're down here at the Golden Nugget. Got a buddy's got a boat down there. We stayed on the boat and being a part of Fake Pitch down there. It was all good.
So what did you like better? Did you like Refugee, Tuesday's Gone, or Stairway to Zeppelin?
I'll tell you, I like the middle one. I loved them all. With the Tom Petty tribute was good, and all of them were good. The boys in what was the middle one? The tribute guy. I keep getting them Led Zeppelin and the other one.
Right, Tuesday's Gone was the Leonard Skinner one.
Yeah, those boys were from my neck of the woods. A couple of them were from Wilmington, North Carolina. So, which is it sounded good to talk to them and hear an accent again. Yeah, felt like I was back home.
That's funny.
All right, Tina Green. Last night, the Phillies in San Diego, they get a win, but they suffer a significant loss. Bryce Harper gets beamed in the thumb. Looks like he's got a pretty severe fracture, and now he's going to be gone for like 4 to 8 weeks.
We don't know that indefinitely for now, but it could be bad.
Yeah. I mean, you start talking about fractures and breaks, depending on the severity of it and what they have to do to it. Some people heal quicker than others, but I mean, you're still looking at a thumb that's a major part of when you're doing things, and for that to heal. I mean, 8 weeks sounds more like it, and that's because of getting your strength back in that hand and all that kind of stuff that goes along with it. So I mean, it's a significant thing that's happening to the offense on that team. So it's he's just got to get it healed now. Hopefully we can get him back by the end of August or first part of September.
Now, Tommy, when a team suffers an injury like that, I know, professional sports is a business. The Eagles did it back in 2017 with the next man up mentality. But as a professional athlete, when your star goes down, what does that do to the rest of the players in the locker room?
Well, I mean, you hit it on the head. It's got to be a next man up type thing. We got to find a way to do things more consistently to pick up where. I mean, it's hard to replace what he does, but they got as a unit. If they all get a touch better, a little more consistent, they can make things happen a little better. And nobody's going to take the pace of Harper, what he does in the lineup, what he brings to it. But we got to play better ball as a unit, and then that's bottom line. We are capable of doing it, but we have to do. We've seen them do it, but we have to be more consistent. Like this week, we're 2-4 this week. I go from Sunday to like Saturday is my week, what I look at. And, and you look at it before last night's game. I mean, even count last night's game with the games they played this week, six games this week they played?
Yeah.
They've scored 15 runs. And that was counting last night. Before then it was, I mean, you're still averaging a touch over 2 runs a game, and that's hard to win that way. And I mean, and it puts a lot of pressure on the staff, to throw, not give up a 1 run and no runs type thing. And we got shut out, at least once I know of, if not twice during this past week. Which I mean, it's it's a bad recipe when you're getting shut out. We got to figure out how to do things and make things happen a little bit better.
Tommy Greene's with us here for his weekly On the Mound segment with Tommy Greene, brought to you by GSF Fitness. Tommy, there seemed to be a lot of the video afterwards was like Harper was kind of barking at Blake Snell. Blake Snell kind of motioned like, I didn't mean to do it, and then sort of yelled back at him. You've been through this, I'm sure, before. You're not trying to injure anybody out there, but there is some jawing that goes back and forth.
Well, I mean, you see something like that happen. That ball got away from him pretty friggin' good. I mean, that was in no man's land. There wasn't nothing really. The only thing that Bryce could have done better, because he was kind of cheating to get, I think, at stuff because he opened up to it.
Right.
Red list and take it the other way where you kind of turn your shoulder into it and it catches your shoulder or your back. You know what I mean? But the guys throw so hard. I mean, we throw so hard at times, and it gets in the spot where if you don't make that decision right off the bat, you're screwed. So, and that's sort of what happened to Bryce. He opened up into it. I mean, and it wasn't really nothing he could do. So, and it's upsetting as a player because he knew he had something bad going on, in his hand without even. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a spur of the moment. You're upset. But it's like he did. He motioned back. He says, "My bad. I'm just upset." I mean, you can see. He says, "I'm just upset." Type thing. And both of them knew he didn't mean to do it, but it still doesn't. It's still the fact that he got hit. And I mean, he knew he was probably going to be done for a while, and that's upsetting to him. So.
Hey, Tommy, let me ask you this question: as a pitcher, as a former pitcher, when you want to control the inside of the plate, be able to throw inside. In your mind, you got to place that ball. You want to have the inside of the play when you see a player come up that has elbow pads, hand pads. Does that make you a little extra, like more emboldened to go inside, or because they got more protection on, or you're not even thinking about that?
Well, I don't think about. I really don't think about that. I mean, I learned after you get hurt a few times trying to throw inside, not getting it there. You said the word that I don't like to hear is place it inside. I don't like the word place or spot or whatever. I don't like it. I like when I learned. I mean, you can't jack around inside, and you get hurt in there enough. You got to throw it through there. You got to throw it through that window, that little doorway, through it inside. And his job is to get out of the way or wear it, whichever one he wants to do. I mean, and if he wants to cheat and stay there and try to take the inside part of the plate, take both sides of the plate from you, and take the outside too. I mean, that's a recipe for getting wearing one in the ribs. So because he's trying to stay there longer. So.
And quite frankly, Tommy, you can't survive in the big leagues if you can't pitch inside, right? I mean, that you have as much a right to that part of the plate as the batter does.
That's the perfect thing. You have the much right.
Yes, I mean, it's the way. I mean, they start trying to take the outside part of the plate from you and lean on you like that. I mean, I look at it; they're trying to take food off my table. So you either got to step up or back up, and back up meaning you're going to be sitting down to the minor leagues, because if you can't you got to learn how to pitch inside. And command it through that doorway in there. If the guy gets hit, he gets hit, and that's the mentality you got to have. But you got to be able to pitch in, and the guy's got to know that you're willing to pitch in there, and that way he can't lead on you. It's sort of like the old Field of Dreams thing. Hey, what's he going to throw left? Well, be careful. Hey, look for down and away. Yeah. Be careful for one in your ear, type thing, because it can get away from you. It's that type of thing. When you got a hitter thinking like that, it could be. It puts a little bit of something in his mind that as a pitcher you want him to be thinking about. You don't want to be so committed to that ball away. So
we're talking with Tommy Greene. Tommy, The Phillies are 39 and 35 right now, 9 games behind the Mets. It's still June 26th, I believe, right? So when do you guys, if you do, start watching this, out of town scoreboard, seeing like what's going on with the? I mean, because the Phillies have been playing well in the month of June, but still haven't been able to pick up any ground.
Yeah, it's the only one thing you got control over is yourself. You can scoreboard watch you want. You do as players watch. We didn't have the games on the scoreboard like we did back, like they do today. They got everything you want out there on the freaking scoreboard, man. We didn't watch it like that. We kept up with it like in the paper. Come to what the standings were, what did the Mets do last night, or what did Atlanta do last night? Whoever's pitching well, I looked at it in the fact that, okay, who's coming in? Who we playing next that I'm pitching against. I want to see how they're doing. Who seems to be hot and who seems to be not, type thing. That way, you kind of get a gauge on what's happening a little bit. So that's what I used it for. But you got to take each day as it comes as a player and take care of today, and you put one foot in front of the other type thing, and you get on a good streak, and that's, and you're taking care of your business, and then whatever happens to the other thing's going to happen, So.
All right, Tommy Greene, we know you're still in AC, having fun out there. Be safe.
I'm looking at a big yacht right now. It has to be like a $30 million one.
Oh man, that sounds like fun. Oh, listen,
we lost him.
We lost him.
Yeah.
All right.
That's all right.
All right, sorry.
Thank you to Tommy Greene for his weekly segment On the Mound, brought to you by Aaron Bada's Golf and Sports Performance Club. Call 609-788-4661. I hope he didn't fall in the water. Or visit gsfitness.com for your free assessment. The $30 million yacht has a cell phone blocker, so nobody can take pictures of it.
How appropriate. We're getting ready to sign off anyway.
Right. It's all good, man. Hey, listen, there's a couple things here.
You know what Tommy did say? Tommy made, let me just say this. Tommy made one good point. You said it. He has as much right to the inside of the plate as the batter does.
Very much.
These guys come up with all this armor on and stuff like that. I'm going inside.
Right. I'm
not worried about it.
Right. And I thought your word emblazoned or emboldened, like to go in there. I understand what you're trying to say. Look, bottom line is, this is why this hurts so much, because Harper was playing through the torn ligament and still being the full-time designated hitter. And when he's in the lineup, they are something. And when he's not, he missed 5 games last month after he got that injection. They scored a total of 8 runs. Then with the blister and the infected blister on his finger, 5 runs during a 3-game absence. So they're just not the same without him. And look, Schwarber's been good. Hoskins has been good. But Kevin Long said, we've got to get 4 and 5 going. Who's he talking about? The $100 million cleanup hitter, Nick Castellanos, and the $115.5 million catcher, JT Realmuto. In fact, Dan texted in. Thank you, Dan. He wanted to ask Tommy, how in the world is Castellanos still batting cleanup? He hasn't had an extra base hit in 6 weeks.
Yeah, you look at his numbers, he's 242.
Yeah, and then the other question Dan asks is, will Middleton get rental players at the trade deadline like the Braves did last year? Well, it's interesting because there's been some precedent for this before in the Phillies organization, like on things that they've done, right? Remember when Utley got hurt in 2007? Utley broke a bone in his right hand. He got hit by a pitch in 2007.
What part of the season?
July of 2007. He had surgery. He missed 31 games. He came back for the final month of the season.
Okay.
While he was out, they went 15-13. Not great, but they hung in there to then slingshot over the Mets that last day of the season and get into the playoffs. Right. Remember, Phillies have the longest drought in the National League of making the playoffs. Yeah. It's been a long time. Now, Harper's probably going to miss more than 31 days, Billy, even if he's lucky enough to avoid surgery. I mean, every fracture is different, but Mickey Moniak missed 6 weeks with a broken hand at the beginning of spring training. Right. So the big thing is that Dombrowski has to go sign somebody. In 2007, the day after Utley got hurt, Pat Gillick got Tadahito Iguchi from the White Sox.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Just so they could have a guy, right? Well, Dombrowski's got to do something.
All right. First hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers and real estate agents lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shore to Center City and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you. 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call our good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine that is run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we return, we'll wrap up hour number one. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim and Pete Thompson right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
This summer,
0-2 on the way. Swinging a high fly. This is blasted out to deep right center field.
things you were going to buy anyway. Then we match that cash back in your first year. And that's why we call it Cashback Match. Now to recap and say cashback one more time. We match all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year automatically. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
Now, more of The Locker Room with Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, PT, we're back here in the locker room. Tommy Greene's a great guy, man. You know what? He's authentic. He's genuine. He's not pretentious, and he's just a good all-around guy.
As real as they come, you know.
All right.
I did see last night, Michael Bourne was doing the commentary. You want to know what Michael Bourne's situation was when Harper got hit last night?
What?
He said, "Oh, bleep."
Did he say it?
I think he actually said it.
Really?
Yeah. Now, I wasn't listening to the radio at that point, but I think, some stunned producer in San Diego had to hit the button on the analyst.
So Pete, starting Monday, I'm going to be on the boardwalk again this summer.
Oh, yeah,
at
you're
the
doing that?
all campus on the boardwalk in Ocean City, New Jersey, for our rant booth on A2D radio. There, we have a podcast. John Coyle is the owner of All Campus. Of course, John's a great guy. And John,
it's a great store. If you haven't been in there, I mean,
they got the best
if
lids.
you
man.
can't find a hat in All Campus, then you
can't find a hat.
You can't find a hat. Like
Right.
there simply isn't one for you. I mean, and the college hats are like. I remember last year I went in to do a little of this shtick with you, if you will.
You're gonna come in again.
I'll
this
come in
year?
again. We did a little rant, and then I walked around the store, and my buddy went to Kutztown.
Right.
And I found a Kutztown hat for him and sent it to him, and he was over the moon.
Matter of fact,
He
one
was so
segment we
excited.
do, they pull out hats and they say, "Who's
You gotta
this?"
guess who it
I
is.
mean, he's got so many obscure colleges. That's how good they are. They
Yeah.
have colleges from all over the place.
That's awesome.
But the concept of the rant booth is we sit right there in the front of his store, and people walking by the boardwalk can come in and talk with us and rant about whatever they want.
Yep, sports
about
related.
sports related,
Right,
anything, any town, any city, any team, whatever you want to get off your chest is the perfect venue to do this.
Yeah,
It's a great concept.
It is a good concept. It's a lot of fun. I'm glad you're doing it again, and I'll definitely stop by one of these weeks.
So that's All Campus.
This
on
will
the
not be
boardwalk.
the week.
No, that's fine.
I'm
We're
out of
just getting
town.
started.
Yeah.
It's All Campus on the boardwalk in Ocean City, New Jersey, 10th and Boardwalk, right next to Playland.
Okay. There
By
you
the
go.
way, my daughter's favorite place.
Yeah,
she's
now
tall enough
she's-
to go in the big double shot.
Oh yeah,
We've
that
been
was
around
a big moment,
3 nights in a row.
right?
We were just riding up because the other night Nick Sirianni was in the park.
I know. How did you miss him? And Cole Hamel. It's Celebrity
I
Week in
said-
Ocean City. Cole
well,
Hamels was at
he
Uncle
sits
Bill's.
He was sitting next to me on the beach, like about 50 yards away from me.
Cole Hamels
Yeah.
was. Did you-
Well, he hangs out with the Holloways.
Oh, okay.
The owner of the Point.
I did text our former intern Lindsay Moppert and
Yes.
said, like, hey,
She's doing well.
what's the story here? 'Cause
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Was she
like,
working that day?
She was not. She
Yes.
said she missed him by one day, so she was upset that she missed him.
Yeah, Cole Hamels is down. Bob McElwee, I saw riding the boardwalk the other day.
Hey, Billy,
Guess-
this
so
is
we're-
NFL referee
You're
Bob
gonna-
McElwee.
You're going to love this. He's riding the boardwalk. Guess what shirt he's wearing?
The locker
The
room.
locker room. The gray, the one I'm wearing actually right now, the locker room, the gray shirt.
That's awesome.
And I said Pete to him, I go, hey, Big Mac. I said, I hear your voice every week.
Yeah.
I get to hear you every week. He goes, what are you talking about? I got you on my promo or my
Open.
introduction, my
yeah,
opening.
on the big thing. Yeah.
I played it for him.
I loved it.
Nothing but smiles.
Yeah. That's
He said,
good.
now I finally made it to the big time here. After all those years in the NFL,
Right.
I
To heck with Super Bowls or anything like that. I'm on Billy Schweim's show. I can die
you
now.
know, he's the only referee to ref a Super Bowl in 3 different decades.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
All right.
609-403-0973. 609-403-0973. The text message board is open. Send us a question for Lou Nolan, the longtime Flyers PA announcer. He's going to be our guest here on the other side with the locker room with Billy Schweim and Pete Thompson. We'll talk some Flyers hockey and talk about his book, If These Walls Could Talk, Philadelphia Flyers. That's all coming up next here on the locker room with Billy Schweim and Pete Thompson on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
You haven't downloaded the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app? WENJ HD Millville, Atlantic City, a town square media station serving all of South Jersey.
Set, ready, 83.
Welcome to the Locker Room.
Vince Papali, welcome to the Locker Room.
I can smell it already, Billy. What's happening, buddy?
Ron Hayes, welcome to the Locker Room with Billy Schwein.
Yeah, hey, Billy, how you doing out there?
Rich Gannon, welcome to the Locker Room, Rich.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be with you.
Great Bob McElwee, NFL referee.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Craig Berube. Craig, welcome to the Locker Room.
All right, thanks, Billy.
We have the real Pat Croce in the locker room.
Get me off the bench, Coach.
And now here's your host, Billy Schwein.
All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson in the house. You know, we said this earlier, Pete, when we were talking about who's going to be on our show today, and I mean this. Lou Nolan, every time I've been down at the Spectrum, he's so accommodating and so welcoming, made me feel at ease when you walk down and you have a press pass, you go down to interview the guys after the game, but he's a friendly face, always smiling, always saying hi. He's just a great, classy guy.
He very much is. He's adaptable. There was a period of time where they moved him from his spot, because of the COVID and the pandemic rules and all that. And God bless, there's not much lately in the last year and a half or so that I've wholeheartedly endorsed from Flyers ownership.
Right.
They paid the fine.
Yeah,
they got him back in between the boxes for the night that he got honored, and that's what they should have done, which was awesome.
He's been the PA address announcer for 8 Stanley Cup Finals, 2 NHL All-Star games. He's been there for over 50 years.
I mean, geez, Billy, if these walls could talk.
He wrote a book called "These Walls Could Talk."
These walls
could talk. Let's go to the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline, and welcome into the locker room our good buddy Lou Nolan. Good morning, Lou.
Good morning, guys. Hey, thanks for having me on the show.
Lou, we were thinking about you because Pete saw you at the golf tournament, the alumni tournament, and I said, you know what? Let's get Lou on because, Lou, I mean, you've been around for such a long time. You've seen it all. You wrote a great book called If These Walls Could Talk, and we haven't talked to you for a little while, Lou, because really there hasn't been that much to talk about with the Flyers, so we had to get Lou Nolan on.
Well, you're right about that, Bill. There hasn't been a lot to talk about, but it's certainly changing,
Let's hope it's changing for the better. Now, Lou, let's get to your book because it's a great read. It's a great read for you. Go down the beach. It's a great read. It's not too long, but the stories that are in there are great. And there's one story that I want to ask you about. It happened in, I think it was it's on page 137. It happened in 1992-93 when the LA Kings came to town. I think it was March 13th. And you guys, it was like you said you referred to it as a snow cane. It was like a blizzard, like a hurricane. It was a blizzard, and there was only about 2,000 people in the Spectrum, and half the team couldn't get into the facility because the snow was so bad.
Yeah, it was a mess. I got in there, fortunately, the early end of the snow, and somehow we got most of our guys in there, and the Kings were here already. NHL rules say you come in the night before, and in this case, they got in before the snow, and there was a lot of it. And remember, we started the game, and that was when Gretz was with the Kings, and before you know it, you heard this big crash, and the wind was just wild, and the vet was across the street, obviously then, and something blew off the vet and came crashing through one of the big pane windows of the building. Now, very fortunate that there was a stand underneath it, like, a food stand, but the game was going on, so nobody was, there were only a couple thousand people, right? Nobody was in line to eat anything. If they had been in line and that window had come down, it would not have been very pretty, for sure.
I remember that storm, Lou. I remember 2 things. I'd come back from L.A., so the weather was completely different. I remember that it was 23.5 inches fell in a 24-hour period, and I also remember seeing the late great Harry Callis at the airport. I was coming back to Philadelphia. HK had a beautiful tan and was leaving for Clearwater with a big grin on his face.
Smart man. Get it out of here. Yeah.
So, Lou,
absolutely.
You have so many stories in this book. If These Walls Could Talk, Philadelphia Flyers, right? And stories from the ice, the locker room, the press box. I don't think this story's in there, but I'm sure you have a perspective on it. And it's something that I used to look at and be fascinated with after I heard the backstory on it. And that is the Holmgren-Cashman gate. Maybe tell our listeners a little bit about what that gate was, why it got put up, and what you remember about that night.
Well, it was there in the Spectrum after the incident. It wasn't there for the incident, but there was and both of those guys could pretty much go, and they did, and it carried over from was nasty as could be. I mean, not just a fight where the guys tap each other and say "good go." It was nasty, and when they went up the ramps, they sort of met in between the locker rooms for a little bit more of a joust. So what it prompted the authorities in the building to do was to say, we need something here that we can close and keep these guys from one another, because back in those days, I mean, that's what the team was all about, toughness and roughness, and the league condoned it to a certain respect. So, a little bit of 2, 5, and 10 for each guy, and they started off, but they were ready for another bout in the hallway. So that's how the gate came about, and it was there for a long time. I'm not sure where it is right now, but
I can tell you where it is.
We closed the building.
It's in the Xfinity Live. There's a front portion of Xfinity Live that has the piece of that one half of the gate up there and a little sign that explains what the history of the gate was and stuff. So
I didn't realize that. I've got to check it out.
Yep.
I got to check it out.
Lou Nolan's our guest here on the Locker Room with Billy Schweim and Pete Thompson. And Lou, we've got some text messages in and questions for you, including Joe from Ocean City. He'd like to know, first and foremost, what are your thoughts on John Tortorella? Will he succeed?
Yes, I think he will. I think it's all got to be relative. If anybody thinks that this team is going to go from 0 to 85 in a season, I mean, they're wrong. But I think that Torts can put his imprint on the team, make it a little difficult on some guys. And what he's saying is, he's going to raise the levels of what people can accomplish. And I guess a little like Mike Keenan worked with. I saw Mike at the golf tournament. I don't know if you had a chance to talk to him, Pete, but Mike was there, and then and he did it. He raised these guys to do things that they didn't think they could do, and I kind of think that Torts is going to be the same way. I think he had a bit of a bad rap there, just because when you hear him and he's talking to writers, he doesn't like stupid questions. And there are a ton of them out there.
Yes.
So, and his bouts with Larry Brooks up in New York, when Brooksy was up there covering the Rangers, they're just epic. They're epic. So I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I think it will be entertaining. There's no question about it.
People will stick around on Comcast to see the pressers afterward.
That's going to be must-see TV.
Yeah,
You're absolutely right.
We're talking with a long-time PA dress announcer for the Flyers, Lou Nolan. Lou, we're taking questions 609-403-0973. If you have a question for Lou and we read it on the air, we'll make sure you include your address, because we'll send you a copy of Lou's book, If These Walls Could Talk. Now, Lou, 2 weeks ago, Pete Thompson and I had the honor and privilege to have Craig Berube in our studio for the whole 2 hours. And you know what that was like.
Wow. He's one of the all-time greats.
Yeah.
Period. What a wonderful guy.
He sure is. But he gives us a great insight into coaching. And you've seen a lot of coaches over the years. You've seen them all.
Needless to say, yeah.
So you talked about Mike Keenan a little bit. Talk to your impression on maybe some of your favorite coaches, or something that stands out in your mind of some famous Flyers coaches over the years.
Well, obviously, when I started, Keith Allen was the coach, and wonderful man, and did a nice job with what he had to work with, certainly. as it went on, there were some really, really good guys that got in there and worked with the team. And then there were some that were just, the Band-Aid to get the team past something that for sure. But I liked him. I mean, Freddie, happy to be Freddie's hero.
Right.
He just kept the guys guessing constantly as to what he was trying to tell them. And it kept their attention. And, he had a team that had a lot of talent. I mean, you talk about it and they say, well, the guys fought their way through the NHL and that's why they won. That's baloney. I mean, you talk about guys like Clark, Bill Barber, Reggie, Billy Flett, 50 goals, guys like that. I mean, we had talented players in addition. And, of course, Bernie. So, so I enjoyed Freddie. I spent some time on a train with Freddie crossing Canada in a snowstorm and enjoyed that conversation. But while I'm on here, I want to make sure that I congratulate Luke Richardson on his new job with the Blackhawks. He'll be fine there. He's another guy that is an absolute ace. So you ought to try to get him on the show. He's a wonderful guy and talented. He paid his dues up through the minors and assistant coaching. So God bless him. So I wish Torts the best, and guys like Holmgren I knew well, Bill Barber I know well, you know what I mean? It's a tough job. It's a tough job. And to be successful at it, you got to have a combination of talent, guys that listen to you, and good systems. So maybe Joe Mullen will come in and put the power play together,
I'd be okay with that. Lou Nolan's our guest here on the Locker Room. Don't forget John Stevens, too. I was in that morning rush, if you will, where all the players, Billy, are all kind of mingling around DuPont Country Club. And so, so I say hello to somebody, and, I'm not sure if I'm recognizing people or not. I said, hi, I'm Pete Thompson. The guy goes, I'm John Stevens. And I thought, oh my God, that's John. I hadn't seen him in a couple of years. I said, you brought the cup to Sea Isle. He says, yeah. And I said, they really like that. And I said, oh, wait, your kids went to St. Augustine. He's like, well, just the oldest boy, but he was impressed that I had some background and knew some of his history as well. But yeah, it's a rich history of Flyers coaches for sure, Lou. It's a rich history of Flyers players too. And John from Ocean City is texted in. He said, I'd like to know from Lou Nolan who the greatest Flyers player that he ever watched play. I think this is a layup for you, but I'll still put it on the tee.
It is, but it's Bob Clark.
Yeah.
I was a guy that just never took a minute off from the beginning till the end, and he would do anything to win. Just ask the Russians in some of the series.
Never forget it.
But and Bernie was a close second. However, Bernie didn't spend the amount of time here, and then Bill Barber, who I think was, if we had not had Clark, then Bill Barber would have been recognized even more than he is now, because he played in every situation, everything, and scored a bunch of goals, bunch of assists, lots of points, killed penalties, power play, you name it, Billy did it. So I think that Billy gets slighted a little bit because of Bob, but the great players there for sure.
On page 51 of your book, you write a little bit about Patrick Kane's bizarre goal and what a weird way that was to end the Stanley Cup playoffs. How about Kadri's goal the other night that went right up underneath the crossbar and was kind of tucked in the net, and Wes McCauley never saw it. Like, TV saw it, but Wes didn't. And you know what's funny, Lou? I saw some people that you'll know too, message out. Messina might have been one of them, message out like, this is why you need a goal judge.
Yeah,
a goal judge would have hit the button.
You got it.
Michael Ford would be sitting behind there.
Yeah, from TV, you could see it because it was the only black mark on the top of all that white, whatever that material is that's around the top that covers it. I mean, you could see the puck there, and it looked to me like one of the opposing team tried to knock it down from there, and like when nobody knew where it was,
right?
Tried to knock it down and like get it out of the net, so there'd be more controversy. But I don't expect that. The league would have not known that one in. But Pat Kane, I mean, I knew right away, because the goalie's looking for the puck, and Kane is throwing his gloves up in the air and his helmet, and he's gone crazy. So, yeah, bad. And then they celebrated for hours on our ice.
It seemed like an
terrible.
eternity. Seemed like an eternity.
What's terrible?
We're talking with Lou Nolan, 609-403-0973. If you have a question for Lou and we read it on the air, we'll send you a copy of his book, If These Walls Could Talk. Now, Lou, you've seen the game change in a lot of ways. But one thing that I noticed over the years, and you could probably talk to this more than I can, the fact that when you first started as a PA dress announcer, guys, they had beers in the refrigerator in the locker room. Guys smoked cigarettes
in between periods.
I mean, obviously that has changed, but I mean, you've seen that change.
Indeed, the game. Well, the speed of the game has been the biggest change. But early years, players came in and they kept up whatever habits they had. The Russian guys used to sneak down the hallway into where they did all the laundry and smoke cigarettes. And certain guys, for visiting teams, would just put a chair outside the room and have a cigarette. That's when I used to cross the ice after in intermissions when I didn't have all these things to do now that I have, but and people to see. But it's changed. I think the players have more of a stake on being healthy. Doesn't mean they don't drink beers, okay?
Right.
But I think that the team has said or thought about, we don't want to encourage it. We don't want to keep the beers on ice, so to speak, until it's worth it, until something is won, and then all bets are off.
I remember,
so to speak.
Lou. I remember Lou going when Rick Tocchet got traded to Pittsburgh. I drove his car out there for him, and when I went into the locker room, of course they had a nice big locker room at the igloo there. They had a big, huge like a couch that was like a U-shaped couch, and they had a huge TV, like a big, huge picture screen TV. And this is going back 92. Had a huge TV, and then two big refrigerators on either side of the TV. Full of beer. Icy Light, I believe it was.
Icy Light.
Oh yeah, that's their beer. Yeah,
they owe it to those guys to put that stuff on there. My God, Icy Light. Good Lord, I think that's banned from Eastern Pennsylvania, isn't it? New Jersey.
That's right. You can't get past State College and have one of those. You got to go. You're in Yingling country out here. That's no doubt. Lou Nolan's our guest, and his book is If These Walls Could Talk. And you close the book, I think, in a good way, too. You talk about, Lou, that 50th reunion and how special that game was. I know I was at that game as a member of the media. Like, Clarkey, when he got done that game, said, that's it. That's the last time I'm going to skate in an alumni game. Some other guys were in that. And the game ended in a tie. And you even write, hey, there's nothing wrong with a tie,
Yeah, there isn't. And, it was a very amicable game for both teams. I mean, guys, we're happy to be playing, period, but happy to play against the opponents. And everybody was friendly. Big long bench, my God. And I can remember the fridge cranking a slap shot, and it wind up taking Simone Gagne out. Simone Gagne was in front of him, and he cracked the slap shot, and Simone got nailed. And that was an interesting bench after that. The guy said, "Stay out of the way of the fridge."
Yeah, who knew?
Before, but he's going to shoot through our own guy. He's skating away from him. But it was great, and to have all those guys in. I mean, these alumni tournaments since Brad Marsh has taken over the alumni. And the NHL has placed a bit of a premium on alumni relations. Everything has changed. We're more than just a bunch of guys that go play and bring along an announcer, against different teams for charity. I mean, we're playing those. We are still. But, I mean, look at the stuff. I mean, bicycles for everybody. Pete, did you see that look on that kid's face when she drove that $7,000 bicycle?
It's an adaptive bike, Billy, is what he's talking about, because, and the slogan is that everybody deserves a bicycle, and some people may have physical ailments or, disabilities and not able to ride a traditional bicycle. And the Flyers alumni, just an outstanding job they do, which is quite frankly, Lou, while I opened my wallet and gave some money to that cause as well.
Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, so did I. Brought home a T-shirt and whatever it had to be, and it's a wonderful thing. Those kids, I met the young girl and her sister and her family, and they were just so happy. And hey, a nice contribution by the alumni to the Snyder hockey to raise it up to straight $1 million. So I mean, think about that. You raise $1 million.
That's unbelievable.
As an alumni.
Lou, one last question before I let you go. We've been blessed in this area, Philadelphia area. We've had great announcers, but the legendary Gene Hart was one of the best ever. And some memories that you have with Gene Hart. I knew he worked with when I first started listening to Flyers hockey on the radio.
Good night and good hockey.
It was Gene Hart and Don Earl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, those two guys, Gene was the first PA announcer for the first period. And then he went upstairs, and maybe it was to do the final period on radio. So that's the way it started out. And, I'm not sure what the radio stations were that covered them at that point, but, I started in 72, but there were a series of people before me. But Gene was wonderful, and Hall of Fame. He's in the Hall of Fame. So, to think about that, and I remember how he helped me with the Russian names and how to greet people.
Good linguist.
In Russian. Unbelievable. Vyacheslav Sodolyukin rolls off my tongue now like crazy. And when I first looked at it, it was nuts. But yeah, he recorded all the names for me, and I studied them and did them by syllables, and he's helped me so much in what I do now, because let's face it, there aren't as many straight names anymore with Canadians and Americans. They're from all over the world now. So Gene has helped me. I think that's the biggest thing that I could say, other than he educated the Philadelphia base on Flyers hockey, and none of us that are involved with the Flyers can ever thank him enough for that.
And while you're talking to Lou, someone texted in and said about the obvious one name we remember is Gene Hart, but Stu Nahan, I believe, the voice of the Kings, and in the Rocky movies, they were on Channel 48 back then, so people are listening. And then somebody else texted in from Ocean City, said, I want to know how Eric Lindros would fit into today's game. We'll close with that one. How would Eric Lindros fit into today's game?
Well, he would certainly get on the ice, and he wouldn't be the biggest guy for sure. But pre-injury, Eric would be a force now, just as he was then. But I mean, in junior, he was so big that he just did whatever he wanted, and just was unbelievable. And for the first few years he was here, the same thing. MVP and just a great guy. I always got along really well with him. I didn't have to manage him, and all I had to do was be his friend. And I think that the team now would welcome Eric Lindros, as would the general manager and the coach.
Yeah.
Boy, you're not kidding. What a talent. I mean, he's got to be in the top 2 or 3 Flyers of all time. No question about it.
All right, Lou. We really Lou. We're running a little short. We got to go, but Lou, I really appreciate you taking time on a Sunday morning to come on and talk a little Flyers hockey. Of course, don't forget the book, If These Walls Could Talk. Well, I guess you get it on Amazon.
Yeah, you can.
Barnes and Noble.
On Facebook, and pump my name in. You can get in touch, and I can get one of those to you that way and sign it. So hey, whatever.
All right, there he is, Lou Nolan. Everybody, thanks, Lou.
Thanks, guys, very much. Take care.
All right, good stuff, Lou.
There's Lou Nolan on the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline. He's seen it all, Pete.
He has, like he said, the coaches have changed, the players have changed, the venue has changed, the building has changed. I think the game has definitely changed. He touched on the fact that Mr. Snyder, man, it's a different organization now that Mr. Snyder is no longer running things. But Lou still goes. So God bless him, man. We love the guy.
All right, the second hour of the Locker Room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. You can play on the 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining experience, lively atmosphere in the pub, There's a full calendar of golf and social events throughout the season to appeal to everyone. For more information, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. My winter watchdog. Have you heard of New Jersey?
Sorry. Sorry, I was typing a text message. Sorry.
Have you heard of New Jersey Premier Vacant Home Management Service, My Winter Watchdog? You know those worrisome thoughts that creep into your mind every time you hear of a storm coming and the daunting task of driving down to the shore to check on the house, hours of time on the road? Let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with a 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance and improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and a team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. So don't let the winter worry you. They'll give your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or give them a call at 267-202-1869 or send Debbie an email, Debbie@mywinterwatchdog.com. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more here in the locker room with Billy Schweim and Pete Thompson on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
Coming up on the next edition of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Hey, it's Mike Gill. Coming up on Monday's show, we'll recap the Phillies.
Amnesty. If you bring home $350 a week, you could get up to $25,000 in credit. 25 grand with only one dime down. Even the new Outlander with third row seating? Yes, sir. The all-new Springfield Mitsubishi Atlantic City in Pleasantville. They service all makes and models. Springfield Mitsubishi AC.com. Springfield Mitsubishi AC.com.
New 22 Mirage, 16 Ford, 9 down, $249 a month for 72 months at 3% APR plus tax tag title to qualified buyers.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the free 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
All right, Pete, we went a little long in that segment, so we're going to...
How could you not?
Yeah, but we really enjoyed talking to Lou Nolan. Hey, listen, we've had TJ Sentenfelter on this show. TJ,
I remember that.
Local kid. His parents, Joe and Denise, we beach with him on 25th Street Beach, and he played for Northeastern in the Beanpot. He played really well. He just transferred to Arizona. He's going to be a Sun Devil.
That'd be Arizona State.
Arizona State. Sun
If he's
Devil.
going to Arizona, he's a Wildcat. If he's going to Arizona State, he's a Sun Devil.
Is that
Lute Olson coached the Arizona Wildcats.
Well, he's going to be a Sun Devil.
Arizona State, which is right there in Tempe.
TJ just got invited to the developmental camp for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Whoa. Way
he
to
sits
go,
right on our
TJ.
beach.
That's awesome. There's an possible
So we got-
NHL goalie right on our beach.
Right on our beach.
Yeah, that's
25th
awesome.
Street. Cole Hamels is there, right? We got Nick Sirianni
Somewhere around
on the
town,
boardwalk.
Jay Wright's popping in and
Jay
out.
Wright's all over the place.
You know?
And now we got TJ Sentenfelter.
That's
How
right.
cool is it? You should see Joe he has a perpetual smile on his face.
As he
Can you
should.
imagine? I'm telling you, TJ looked great.
You saw last weekend on Father's Day, right? What Buddy Kennedy did, the Millville kid.
Yeah.
He got called up to the Diamondbacks,
Yes,
and he hit a game-winning walk-off home run with his mom, dad on Father's Day.
Yeah. And they interviewed him after the game.
They interviewed him after the game, and then they poured the water and Gatorade on the dad instead of Buddy.
I mean, it's just so cool. Like I've seen TJ Sentenfelter grow up from like 4 years old.
It's pretty neat.
Walking on, hanging out as a little
Pretty
kid
neat.
on the beach, and when we watched that game when they played in the Beanpot, he made some outstanding saves.
Yeah. Well, and there's a reason.
Joe told me he's skating with Matthews.
Austin Matthews.
Austin
Yeah, I've heard of
Austin
that guy.
Matthews. He lives in Arizona. He skates with him in practice.
That's beautiful.
And Joe said TJ stops everything.
Ooh, I like to hear that. Go TJ. Well, we are his biggest fans. We'll be rooting for him.
All right, let's do some business real quick. The second hour of the Locker Room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. You play on that 3 hour, play the game in 3 hours and 58 minutes, Pete.
The game?
You can play the course, I should say.
The round. Play your round. It's a round of golf. You don't play a game of golf.
You know what I was
play
doing?
a round
I was
of
reading
golf.
something while I was talking. I can't do two gum and
Clearly. Let's take care of some business while I biff the first commercial. My gosh.
At least I'm honest, though. Right?
We love you for it.
All right.
Billy Malaprop.
All right, listen. If you want to book a wedding, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. Hey, friends, let me tell you about Maserati, the main line, located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan and the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy of being called a Maserati. Maserati, the main line, also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. The Maserati, the main line, also offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at RDS Auto Group at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com. All right, when we return, we'll continue more here in the Locker Room with Billy Schweim and Pete Thompson, 97.3 ESPN.
This summer,
0-2 on the way. Swinging a high fly. This is blasted out to deep right center field. Forget
Nissan Z. Or climb to new heights in the all-terrain Nissan Frontier. Light up the road in the all-electric Nissan Ariya that feels like a sci-fi dream come true. The future will be great, but today is made for thrill. All you have to do is get in a Nissan and drive. 2023 Ariya and Z not yet available for purchase. Expected availability is this spring for 2023 Z and this fall for 2023 Ariya.
Now, more of The Locker Room with Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, we're back here in the locker room Sunday morning with Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson. Pete, the Stanley Cup Finals have been pretty interesting, pretty exciting. Of course, the Lightning staved off elimination with a really good performance up in Denver. Playing at that high altitude. Remember, Craig Berube said that's an advantage for the.
It affects you, yeah, very much so. I mean, I think the Lightning were able to get through Game 1 there, but by Game 2 they'd sort of lost their legs. I saw my boy Howie Boro. You know who Howie Boro is?
I do not know Howie Boro.
He's one of the two guys that wears the blazer, the gloves, and wheels in the cup. He works for the.
The cup's been in the cup was in the house, and it's going to be in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
The
Game 6 tonight. You can hear it right here on 97.3 ESPN.
This Tampa Bay team has won 11 consecutive series. You know that, right? John Cooper, he's obviously experienced head coach. They've got 2 Stanley Cups under their belt. This run, if they win tonight, force a Game 7. And I think it will go Game 7. I think Tampa Bay wins tonight.
You think so,
yeah,
huh?
I do.
I mean, I know. Would you say that if I told you that Braden Point was still going to be out?
Well, I just think
he's going to miss his 4th straight game.
You know what Tampa Bay does really well, and look, both of these teams are outstanding, but Stamkos.
Oh, there's Sunday night baseball tonight too. I'm sorry, Dodgers and Atlanta.
Yeah,
I shouldn't misspeak. Please continue.
But the Tampa Bay Lightning. These guys can skate without the puck and get themselves to an open area on the ice. When Palat scored that goal the other night, he was scraping the ceiling with his stick. He moved into a right spot. The Colorado Avalanche defenseman all with the Stamkos in front of the net left him wide open. That's the type of stuff that the Flyers haven't been able to do.
Well,
they don't have the players.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have the players. That's a big thing, talent level. But yeah, and I think, Braden Point, to speak of that injury, he did come back for the first game in Denver, the first couple of games in Denver. He had an assist in their Game 1 loss, but he wasn't the same explosive player that, and if you're not helping, you're hurting. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I think that's a situation where obviously they like to have him in there, but they want to have him in there 100%. I mean, I look at it like this. Colorado knows how to beat Tampa. You play fast, you create rush opportunities, you're detailed on your breakout, right? And if you don't play like that, then the Lightning find a way to push back. So, early on in this series, I think the Avalanche dominated in the neutral zone.
Right. What did Craig Berube say to us when he was in here a couple of weeks ago? How the Colorado defensemen, they can pinch because they can get back so fast.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the teams don't have that capability.
And not for nothing, but like in Philadelphia, fans will respond to this. Trying to close out the Lightning is like trying to beat out Rocky. You know what I mean? Because look, Tampa's been down in 3 of the 4 series they've played. Right? I mean, they're not done until they're done. So, if they want to win this Game 6 in Florida tonight, they're going to have to play a 60-minute effort. Come out as the aggressors.
Pete, what do you think of the Tampa Bay fan as far as like sports in general? Because it's almost like California. Like they're everybody's from somewhere else.
Yes, that's what. Well, Vegas is like that.
They're fake fans, then.
No. I mean, they're very passionate about their team, and why would
only because they're winning?
No, I'm saying that even when they were bad, they're not as bad, right? And Tampa, are the new Flyers coach Tortorella with Martin St. Louis,
he won a cup there,
Vinny LeCavier, right? Man. All those guys, that put the seed in, if you will. You might even go back, if you want to go way back, when the Avalanche won their cup, who did they beat? The Florida Panthers with Scott Mellanby and John Van Biesbroek. Yes, I remember the Rats on the ice. Yes.
Real quick, we got a minute left in this segment. the Sixers made a move on draft night. DeAnthony Melton. What are your impressions on that, PT?
I think it's a great move.
Carlin loves it.
There was certainly look. That guy's a glue guy.
Josh
you know
loves
what
it.
I mean. He's a defensive guy. He's a glue guy. He's a guy that I think comes in and brings a presence. He's a guy that Daryl Morey has always wanted, and the guy's only 24 years old.
And then you get rid of Danny Green's big contract. You give away the 23rd pick, and if you talk to everybody that's in the know, you can't find anybody. If you don't get the first 2 or 3 picks, you're not getting anybody anyway, right? That's what they say.
I mean, so just look at the way the team's made up. You've got a 28-year-old MVP possible center who just keeps getting injured, and a 32-year-old scorer point guard, but it looks like he drank from the wrong Holy Grail cup. You know what I mean? He's aging as fast as that night in Indiana Jones in the Final Crusade, the Last Crusade, right? Remember, he says, "You chose wisely," and the guy turns into bones and dies. That's what James Harden's becoming. He drank from the wrong cup.
Anthony Melton, 4-year pro. He's 6'2", 200 pounds. He was drafted. He was drafted in the second round, 46th overall. So I mean, he's a good two-way player. Plays good offensive defense. He played with John Morant. So,
the big thing is his defense. I think he brings a defensive presence that the team was sorely lacking last year. So I'm
you're on board.
100% on board with this move. Now, what are they going to do with Thibault next is the next question. But
I don't want to lose Matisse
and Tobias Harris. Why not? I mean, you got to give something to get.
I mean, I don't want to lose Maxey.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I don't want to lose
now
Maxey.
You're right.
Yeah,
right.
No, I do
I didn't
not
understand.
Want to, Carlin said, don't be surprised.
Thibault sort of regressed a little bit,
right?
I think, don't be surprised what?
If they move from Maxey, too.
They're not moving on from Maxey.
They better not.
No, I think
Would you like to see?
I think those are their 3 pieces. To me, their 3 pieces.
Can they get a John Wall or a Bradley Beal?
What do you want John Wall for?
Well, He's
not getting any younger.
All right, but
you're looking for somebody to actually put the ball in the basket.
Yeah. One more person.
There's pieces out there, Well, and not they got to field offers for Tobias Harris too.
And of course, you saw grumblings about who's the Nets.
Kyrie Irving. Oh, I don't want Kyrie Irving.
Nah, he's a cancer, right?
Yeah, he's not a good locker room guy. I mean, quite frankly, look, he's very talented. I don't want Kyrie Irving.
All right, Pete. Second hour of the locker room was brought to you by
the Great Bay Country Club.
You know why?
It's always a great day.
It's not just golf; it's fun. You love Great Bay. We love Great Bay.
I love giving one slogan.
Your boy Coach is down there. Probably. Yeah,
well, he's. I'm not sure if he's playing yet or not.
I saw him there a couple times.
Yeah,
he's not playing.
Maybe right.
He's kissing, shaking hands, and kissing babies.
Nah, he's been on the DL a little bit, or the.
I thought he was back and playing already.
He was back and playing, and then now another little thing popped up. Like he was at the Flyers alumni golf outing, but he did not play.
Okay.
He emceed it, and he had some Canadian ginger ale.
All right, make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. You can play on their 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining, experience a lively atmosphere in the pub. There's always a full calendar of golf and social events throughout the season that appeal to everyone. For more information on how to become a member, book a wedding, a function, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. And of course, when I was down there last time, Radio Ron Ralston was showing me all the new improvements. They got a fire pit area.
Nice.
The new golf pro shop.
I did see the new pro shop. Last time I was there for the old grad awards, and the new pro shop was just opened up. So I did see that.
All right. Just about everybody here has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunick. But were you aware of the private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey to attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events that seems to fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give him a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we return, we'll wrap it up. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson, radio on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
Wake up with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Weekday mornings at
savings on top brand appliances. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. Get up to 25% off plus $750 instant savings on select LG appliances. Valid June 22nd through July 13th. U.S. only. Gas range extra. See store for details.
Plan your summer vacation now. Spirit Airlines is offering nonstop flights from Atlantic City International Airport to Boston, Atlanta, San Juan, Miami, and other exciting destinations. Book your low-cost flights today by visiting spirit.com.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, PT, I want to remind people that I will be up on the boardwalk every Monday night throughout the summer at the All Campus. On the boardwalk, we'll be doing the rant booth on A2D. Of course, if you're up on the boardwalk, stop in, buy a hat, rant, get everything, talk sports with me, get whatever.
Where is it? 10th on the boardwalk?
10th in the boardwalk,
Okay.
right next to Playland. All Campus in Ocean City. Also, PT, my daughter turns 7 on
boy,
Wednesday.
Happy birthday in advance.
Eliza Grace. And she's so excited because she's now tall enough to get on the double shot, the big double shot. And she
That's
takes me there
right.
every night.
That's
Daddy,
right.
I want to go to the double shot.
Yeah. Get out that wallet.
Pete, do you go on the rides at all?
I mean, I used to. I
How was the
don't
last
have.
time? Maybe I ought to come down and see me. I'll put you on the rides.
I've been on some rides. You know. I like roller coasters. I'm a roller coaster guy.
You ever be in the Gale Force there at Playland?
Sure, I'll go on the Gale.
Yeah, you will.
Sure.
You will.
Can I fit in the seat?
Yeah. Any closing thoughts? What's on your mind, Pete? A couple closing thoughts. What do you got?
Well, first of all, I did see this on social media. Somebody talking about the Flyers situation, and I thought this was a good take. If the Flyers trade TK, buy out Lindblom, dump JVR, not only is that $15.5 million off the books, but it's 3 top 9 spots on the wing opened up for the choices of Tippett, Cates, Brink, Allison, or Forster. Everyone wants a rebuild. Well, that's the way to do it. It's time to pass the baton to the kids.
I couldn't
thought
agree
that's a
with
good
them
point.
more.
Yeah.
And guess what? We had Barry Melrose on this program, 3 or 4 weeks ago.
4,
What did he say how disappointing he is in Konechny?
Yep.
Right? He
Yep.
said Konechny should be a 40-goal scorer. He's not producing.
He's not producing.
Cut your losses early.
Yeah, very much so. You know, so
He's a little guy anyway.
So now the only thing that's missing from that take is it's not that easy to move to. I mean, who wants TK or
Maybe
how
a
you
team
gonna-
that has
Right.
a team that needs a second or third line guy that can he's feisty and something. Right now, you can't put your whole organization put the weight of it on his shoulders.
I mean, dump JR. JVR. Like, look, I think JVR's underperformed, but again, it's not that easy to move players like that and move salary.
Now, obviously, Lindbaum's going through a health
Great
issue,
guy,
but
inspirational story. Got
Eventually,
no
you're going to have to
problem
move
with
on
that.
from him.
Yeah.
Right?
Very much so. I mean, because he's just not able to contribute. Hey, we didn't talk about Tony Siragusa today. Not even a little bit. Only 55 years old, right?
Yeah. Sorry to hear about
that. Was
Goose.
very sad when that was coming out. What else didn't we talk about today? The U.S. Senior Open. I know you're not a big golfer, but that's up at Saucon Valley. I've been watching that, and I'll be watching that today.
I'm going to the beach, Pete.
I know you are, man.
It's hot out there, man.
Have a good time.
Brigantine to Cape May.
Put those shades on.
All the beach patrols are getting ready for the races.
Keep your eyes to yourself. Put those shades on. Nobody wants to see you.
All right, PT. Great show today.
Thanks, buddy.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We got Sunday night baseball, right?
Yep. There is Sunday night baseball. It's Dodgers and the Braves.
What time
tonight.
are the Phillies on today?
The Phillies play at 4 o'clock
4
today.
o'clock today.
Yeah, they wrap up that series out there.
We need a win today.
Very much
without
so.
Bryce Harper.
Yep.
That'd be nice. Bring it home. All right, PT. Thanks for making the locker room part of your Sunday, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner and the PT.
That's right, baby.
Monday through Friday, 2 to 6, the Sports Bash with Mike Gill. They'll keep you up to date on everything. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next week, everybody.
Make your 4th of July celebration even bigger this year with savings on everything you need to get your yard ready for summer. Make sure you